Why must the good die young?
Because AMC needs better writers. Hey guys, it's Brian and Kim here, and today I'm going to be going over the top 10 Walking Dead characters that shouldn't have died in AMC's Walking Dead universe, so I'm not including the comic books or the video games. So yeah guys, we all know it. The Walking Dead has had a serious issue with not killing off characters it should have, and killing off characters it shouldn't have. And yeah, this list was a long time coming. I kind of feel like I already did a list like it similar years ago. But yeah, let's get started with the list, I suppose. So first things first, this is going to be going over top 10 Walking Dead characters that shouldn't have died, but these are also going to include characters that did die that should not have died at that point in the story, either simply that they had a bad death or their death didn't just work. So yeah guys, we've kind of seen it. AMC in the beginning, first half of the Walking Dead franchise, they killed off too many characters. Like, they started killing off characters that we wanted to survive longer, or they shouldn't have killed off. And then the second half of the franchise, they started keeping around everyone, even the terrible characters, as you guys saw last Walking Dead video. So yeah guys, it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, AMC, you killed off too much in the beginning, and then you didn't kill enough in the later half of the franchise. It's just, once again, it just shows AMC's incompetence. So yeah guys, we're going to be going over the list. I hope you all enjoy.
Everyone thinks they'll be the one to defeat me, but no one's escaped me yet.
Alright, so honorable mention number 1, we have Jake Otto from Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. Yeah guys, in my opinion, Jake Otto was an interesting character, and I'm not saying that he needed to survive all the way through Fear the Walking Dead, but I honestly think that he should have survived a lot longer in the franchise, or at least, in the season. We only get like one half of his character, and, I feel like he should have been a character that died maybe in the Season 3 finale or something. I feel like he should have had a good sacrificial death or something, maybe against John Proctor or something, Proctor John, because honestly, like I said, his death was just ridiculous in the show. He had a relationship with Alicia, he was the older brother of Troy, he was a cool character, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, let's just kill him off. And the dumbest way ever, having Nick kill him, it was just honestly so ridiculous. It makes no sense. I absolutely hated it. Not to mention, I think it was really cool the fact that he was like willing to kill his own brother. That was going to get them all killed, which I kind of find very awesome as a character, like, to do. I don't think a Walking Dead has ever really done a character like that before. Not even something like Merle, like, he's never done something like that. So yeah, guys, I honestly just think that Jake Otto should have survived a lot longer. That's why he's honorable mention number 1. He just seemed like a cool character. In my opinion, he should have lasted just a little bit longer before being killed off. He was killed off too early. Honorable mention number 2, we have Enid. So yeah guys, Enid was actually supposed to be a lot higher on the list, but she's honorable mention number 2, and the reason for this is, in my opinion, Enid should not have died at all in the Walking Dead franchise, but after the death of Carl, it, in my opinion, was just an unfortunate thing that I kind of guessed needed to happen, unfortunately. As much as I didn't want Enid in a way to die, I also think her death was very shocking and crazy, and I wanted her to be the Sophia of the show. But unfortunately, that never happened, because we all know what happened. Scott Gimple killed off Carl. So unfortunately, because Carl died, Enid as Carl's love interest, there wasn't really much of a point to her as a character, unfortunately, due to Scott Gimple killing off Carl. So yeah, like I said, she's honorable mention because without Carl, Enid sadly just does not work the same way as a character. Angela Kang kind of made that clear when she was killed off, and part of me does kind of wish Enid survived, because she was one of the few Alexandrians I thought actually had a good amount of character development. So yeah, rest in peace. Alright, for honorable mention number 3, we have Noah from The Walking Dead Season 5. So yeah guys, in my opinion, Noah should have definitely survived a lot longer. Now, should he have died at some point in The Walking Dead main show? I think so, but his death was just uncalled for. It was way too soon. Beth literally died so that he could be free from Dawn and the hospital story arc and the hospital. So in my opinion, him dying literally 6 episodes later, that was incredibly insulting. It disrespected Beth's memory. It made Beth die for nothing. Not to mention that Noah's death was just completely racist. I mean, let's be honest. He was the 3rd black guy from Rick's group to die a horrible death. It's just to be killed off in the group. In that season too. I'm sorry, but it's what? Scott Gimple, what the heck, man? That's 3 black guys you killed off from the group. I think that's super racist, honestly. But yeah, also in my opinion, I think that his death was just also stupid. Like I said, Glenn unfortunately never avenged him. He never killed Nicholas, and not only that, but I think that he should have survived to like No Way Out. And I think Noah would have been a cool character where Noah could have taken Reg's notes from after No Way Out and helped rebuild the wall. And then the characters, really like Noah as a friend, and then he gets killed by Dwight or something in the second half of season 6. I think that could have been a lot better. And for the final honorable mention, we have Nicholas Clark from Fear the Walking Dead. So yeah, guys, this might surprise you. Some of you might have thought Nick should be a lot higher on the list. I'm actually one of the few Walking Dead fans that actually, in my opinion, I think that Nick's death kind of works in Fear the Walking Dead. Because Nick's death was one of those, it was one of the most shocking moments I ever saw from the Walking Dead franchise. I did not think Nick was going to get killed off by Charlie, even though I can't stand her character. The actor Frank Delane wanted to leave because of Ian and Andy's horrible writing. Don't blame him, but I think Nick's death, worked in the show. Afterwards, they didn't respect it and all that stuff, but I think that in the scene that was happening, I think it was really good. I would have liked to see more of Nick as a character, but in my honest opinion, Nick definitely seemed like maybe the most likely to get killed off in the Clark family. I mean, if someone in the Clark family had to die in the 7 seasons originally from Fear, I mean, it being him, it does work in a way. And like I said, his death was shocking. It was brutal. It was sad. It was totally unexpected. I was just shocked by it. And I wish we got to see more of Nick as a character. But to be fair, I think that's also why his death kind of works for me. It's not a big deal for me, but yeah, man, Nicholas Clark, like I said, but his death had a huge impact in the franchise and the Fear fans. So yeah, that's also why he's on this list. And for number 10, we have Rosita Espinosa from The Walking Dead season 4 all the way to 11 to the series finale. So yeah, guys, Rosita was never one of my favorite characters, but she was, in my opinion, the best from Abraham's group. Rosita, Christian Serrato's, she's very talented and she's a great actress, obviously. But I think Rosita's arc in seasons 4 to 6 was honestly great. I think her as a character, she definitely got a lot bigger. She definitely had, character development, and she worked. And unfortunately, in season 7, she kind of got more boring as a character. And then season 8, she kind of was getting a little bit better. And then season 9, she really grew again. Season 10, and then she became a mother. She had a daughter named Coco. And then season 11. She becomes a Commonwealth soldier to, help provide for her daughter. And unfortunately, as you guys know, in The Walking Dead, she got bitten. She pulled a dumpster. She got attacked by walkers and swarmed, but she eventually pulled out of it. And, unfortunately, she was bitten and eventually died in the series finale. She was the last death from The Walking Dead. It's just crazy to me that Rosita never got to survive to The Walking Dead CRM Endgame. It's crazy. She never got to find out Rick was alive. She never got to see Rick again. There's just so much. She never got to see her daughter grow up a bit. She never got to see the 1-year time skip afterwards, with the Commonwealth. Never, like I said, it's just crazy. In my opinion, Rosita should have made it. In my opinion, I think it would have been cool if Rosita was the last member of Abraham's group to survive in the Walking Dead main show, unlike in the comic. But instead, Rosita was killed off. And some people might say the actress wanted to leave, but in my opinion, Rosita still should not have died because just because the actress does not want to do any more story with her character doesn't mean you have to kill him off. I really feel like someone else besides Rosita should have died in the series finale. And for number 9, we have Travis Manawa. So Travis is going to be number 9 in my opinion. He should not have died in Fear the Walking Dead season 3. Let's be honest, guys. Some people might say, oh, well, he was in Avatar or whatever. He couldn't film both The Walking Dead and Avatar. I heavily disagree with that, guys. I mean, come on. Travis was an interesting character. He's very different from Rick. And he really stood out as a character. He was, extremely different. He was a good man, but you slowly got to see that losing his family, it started making him crazy. It started making him a crazy survivor. And also, he's one of the few characters in Fear the Walking Dead that's never been ruined. And some of you guys might say, isn't it good that Travis is dead because Ian and Andy never got to ruin him? That's not what this video is about. It's about if Travis died too soon. if he should have survived later in the franchise, died later. And I think he should have survived a lot longer, but could he have died at some point later? Sure. But him dying at the beginning of season 3, it was just such a mistake. His death, it wasn't good in my opinion. It just everything. Everyone kind of forgot about him as a character. I just feel like Travis deserved better as a character. He was just a really awesome character. He got to bloody his hands. Like, unlike Rick or something, he actually failed his family in the beginning of the apocalypse. Unlike Rick, who was able to keep him alive for a few years. But the idea that Travis tried his best and failed his family at the beginning, I think it's a really awesome thing for his character. And also we see that there's this rage inside of Travis. He's very protective, he's very smart, he's very loyal. He wants to do right by people, but he also has a breaking point. So like I said, I think that was really awesome with his character, and in my opinion, Travis should have survived a lot longer. For number 8, we have Sasha Williams from The Walking Dead seasons 3 to 7, and she is the younger sister of Tyrese. I really enjoyed Sasha as a character. She didn't grow on me really until season 4, when after the death of Andrea, she started becoming like this sniper for the group, and I actually grew to like her character. She definitely stood out from other characters. She wasn't like Carol, she wasn't like Michonne, she wasn't like Maggie. She got to stand out, and also she wasn't from the comics, so I'm like, okay, I really like this. Sonequa Martin Green, I mean, she is a beautiful woman, and her spin on Sasha was just amazing as a character, and I definitely wish that Sasha survived a lot longer in the series. Should Sasha have died at some point in the franchise? Maybe, but she could have been a character that make it into the CRM Endgame or something, or the Commonwealth. She definitely could have been a character to like continue on into that storyline, because Sasha had so much more potential. The least that Scott Gimple could have done is put her in All Out War, but he didn't do that. We all know why. Scott Gimple is a hack writer and showrunner. So yeah, I enjoyed Sasha a lot in the show. She was one of my favorite characters for multiple seasons. I just loved how she lost everyone that was close to her. She lost her entire group. She lost her parents. She lost Tyrese, and then Bob, and then the second she gets close to Abraham, he dies too. And I really like how Sasha was really defined as a character, defined by loss, defined by trauma, just similar to Maggie. And she becomes stronger, and she changed. She was such an interesting, relatable character, and she was fun to watch too. And all of a sudden in season 7, they started making Sasha just a terrible character who she has one of the dumbest deaths. Like, she literally takes a cyanide pill that Eugene made for her, and she takes it on a small chance that she might kill Negan. Like, it's just one of the dumbest plans ever. Sasha was supposed to be one of the smartest characters in Rick's group, and she was definitely the best shot too, and she dies before All Out War, and dies one of the most pointless and dumb deaths in the entire franchise. Like come on, Gimple, like, unbelievable. You wanted to do Holly's death, you screwed that up big time.
I just love the smell of fear.
For number 7, we have John Dory. Yes, John Dory from Fear the Walking Dead seasons 4 to 6. John Dory was a really interesting character, despite the fact that season 4, in my opinion, is a bad season, and despite the fact that Ian and Andy are the worst writers ever, they were still somehow to create one of the best characters from Fear the Walking Dead, which is just crazy to me, because John Dory was an interesting and cool character. He was this guy, nice guy, didn't have a family, was an excellent shot. Like, this guy was legit one of the best shots in the Walking Dead franchise. I might have to do a video on that, about the best shooters from the Walking Dead franchise. But yeah, John Dory was crazy. He wasn't afraid of killing, but he was a good man, hard worker. He was a very masculine man, believed in protecting people and doing the right thing. But we did get to see that he was a character that adapted. He had a cowboy outfit. He was friendly towards people, wasn't afraid to make friends, but also knew when people were dangerous. And he had a relationship with June and all that. John was just a really interesting character, in my opinion. He got to really stand out from Fear the Walking Dead, because, like I said, he was one of the best shots from the franchise. And not only that, but he was just a good man. He was kind of like Lee or he was kind of like a white version of Travis, who's a really good shot. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good man, who, just wants to protect people and, do the right thing, but he has a breaking point. So he was a lot like Travis, kind of, as a character. And it was sad when he died, because I didn't expect it. The fact that Dakota killed him, shooting him in the chest and pushing him down the river, and he just died there. John died alone, drowning, with a bullet in his chest, bleeding out, and that's how he died. You know, he didn't get to just do whatever he wanted. He died for nothing. It was just such a sad death. He shouldn't have died like that, and also his death, you know, kind of set up the decline in Fear the Walking Dead, because the second half of season 6, the writing gets so much worse.
Lives flashing before your eyes.
So for number 6, we have Andrea Harrison. So yes, guys, Andrea from The Walking Dead seasons 1 to 3. I mean, just come on. Like, the writing for Andrea was terrible on The Walking Dead main show. Like, they didn't even try with her character, and like, they could have brought comic Andrea back. Like, if Andrea survived past season 3, they could have tried to make Andrea like how she was in the comic. You know, she was awesome. She was BA. She was a strong woman. She was a sniper. But, you know, the only thing they did with Andrea on the show was they made her a crybaby, and then they made her sleep with the villains, and then they just killed her off. It's like I just don't understand what Glenn Mazzara was doing with her character. And what's also crazy about it is Laurie Holden, who plays Andrea, was willing to stay on till like season 12 or something originally. I don't remember if she signed a contract, but I think she stated when she was hired to play Andrea that she was willing to like do something like 12 seasons or something. I think they were trying to figure out when Kurtman would end the comics. So it's like the fact that the actress was like willing to stay on for that long, it's just honestly absolutely crazy. Shows the loyalty in the actress. She deserved better. And like I said, they didn't need to kill off Andrea at season 3. They could have just made her writing a little bit better in season 3, and then just have her like, she didn't need to sleep with Rick. She didn't need to have a relationship with Rick, but she definitely needed to be like her comic self, which unfortunately never happened. Andrea's death in the show was just so stupid. The season 3 finale, Welcome to the Tombs, was one of the worst episodes from the Walking Dead franchise, and you know, from the main show as well. So mostly the main show, but yeah. I did not like Andrea's death in the show. It was just poorly done. It made no sense. And Andrea, Laurie Holden deserved better, honestly, and so did the character of Andrea. She should have survived a lot longer, just wasted potential.
Pick it up.
And for number 5, we have the freaking nutjob himself, Troy Otto. Guys, this is crazy. This is shocking. But yes, Troy Otto is the 5th character in the Walking Dead TV universe that should not have been killed off. Because, guys, let's be honest, Troy was one of the best characters in the Walking Dead from Fear the Walking Dead that they introduced. He was just interesting. He was like the Fear version of Negan. You kind of hated him. He did lots of evil, horrible things, and yet he was still funny and entertaining, and you kind of rooted for him at times. You know, the actor was fantastic, and not only that, but Troy just had this presence to him. He just had such character. He just bounced off everyone well. He bounced off Madison well, even though Kim Dickens apparently can't act. And, you know, he bounced off Frank Delane very well as Nick, bounced off Alicia too from here and there. You know, the actor, you know, Troy Otto just balanced out with everyone. You know, he just had such charisma and chemistry that, honestly, they never should have killed him off. And I mean, and some people might say, oh, well, he didn't die in season 3. Well, he did and he didn't. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. What we will talk about is, in my opinion, like I said, Troy is just one of those characters from Fear the Walking Dead that, in my opinion, not only should he possibly have made it to the end of the show, he should have definitely had some kind of connection or something with the CRM, and, you know, a Walking Dead endgame if it ever happened. Like, he's just one of those characters where I think he just had so much potential. Like, Troy is insane, but he's also fun to watch. Like I said, he was like the Negan of Fear. And him being with the good guys, him being with the Fear group as a member of their group, you know, and he's a total nut job. He is crazy, but yeah, he gets the dirty jobs done. He is very, you know, smart. He's very dangerous. He's not afraid of death. He's not afraid of dying. He's not afraid of pain. Like, he's just this character that's just completely mental. And yeah, he's so much fun to watch. And honestly, Troy should have made it a lot longer.
Pick it up.
And for number 4, we have Jessie Anderson from The Walking Dead seasons 5 to 6. Alexander Breckenridge, the actress for Jessie, she was fantastic. She had great chemistry with a lot of the Walking Dead characters, especially Andrew Lincoln's Rick Grimes. In my opinion, I think Jessie should have survived a lot longer. Her dying the same way like in the comic, I just feel like it was wasted potential. I get it, you want to follow the comic, but come on, you cannot deny that, you know, Jessie and Rick had better chemistry than, in my opinion, than Rick and Michonne. And like I said, You know, like I feel like her and Rick could have been that Andrea and comic from Rick and Andrea from the comic. You know, I definitely think that her losing her sons, but actually Jessie not dying in that scene, not dying in No Way Out, actually her surviving, but dealing with the death of her family, I feel like that would have been insane and great for her character. Because yeah, can you guys imagine how awesome that would have been? That would have been insane. Yeah, absolutely. And for number 3, we have Beth Greene. And yes, this is the third blonde woman in my list. So it's like, geez, Scott Gimple, first black guys and now blonde chicks. Like, what is it with you and hating these people? But yeah, guys, in my opinion, Beth Greene should have not only probably never have died in the Walking Dead main show, but she should have survived all the way through, possibly, at least to the hospital arc, to Alexandria. She should have survived a lot longer. Emily Kinley as Beth was just fantastic. Now, I know some people might say she was overrated, she wasn't that great of a character, but I disagree with that, because Beth really stood out as a character from lots of times, okay? Despite the fact that we did not like Still, despite the fact that we did not like Slaptown, do you guys honestly think, would you guys say, you guys, when Beth died, nobody cheered. No one was happy about that. And why is that? It's because all that development we saw when Beth, in the hospital arc, all that development that she had with Daryl, with Dawn, with Noah, all of that, as much as we didn't like it, we did like that it was over. And now Beth was a new character. She changed. We enjoyed that as a character, for Beth. And not only that, but Beth, in my opinion, was just a great character. Unlike, she's very different from Maggie. She's definitely more selfless, but not only that, Beth is she's more empathetic than Maggie as well. Beth is just, like I said, she's more empathetic than Maggie, and not only that, but she's very smart as well. The fact that her and Noah escaped the hospital, and she's very brave, and even while injured is able to help Noah escape. And her death is one of the dumbest deaths in the Walking Dead franchise. Like I said, Scott Gimple, you are a hack, because what the heck, even I never understood this. Why did they set up at the end of season 4, Rick giving Beth his hat? Why did they do that scene if it wasn't going to be like, hey Beth, you are a legacy character, or you're important, you're going to be important for the future in The Walking Dead? But no, they just did a horrible writing with Beth. They treated her character terribly. Beth literally died so that Noah can, get out, and we all know what happened there. It's like, I don't understand what they were doing. Emily Kinley, she was a great actress, Beth was a great character, but they just totally screwed her over, and she should not have died like that. She should have at least made it to Alexandria. And for number 2, we have my man Glenn. I mean, guys, come on. Did you honestly think that I wasn't going to have Glenn on this list? Glenn was just such a great character in The Walking Dead. In my opinion, I really don't think he ever should have died, but if he did have to die at some point in The Walking Dead, maybe he could have been in, the CRM Endgame or something like that. I don't know. But the point is, I think that Stephen Yeun's Glenn was fantastic. He had so much charisma. He was relatable. Glenn has been through so much as a character, so many tough calls. He's had a lot of change throughout the apocalypse. Unlike Daryl and Rick, they had skills before the apocalypse with surviving. Glenn didn't. He had to learn everything on his own. Daryl was a great crossbow shooter before the apocalypse, and Rick was a cop. But like I said, Glenn had to adapt to the apocalypse completely from scratch, and he did it really well. And like I said, the only reason, that he died was because of Daryl's stupid plot armor and stupid decisions, and Scott Gimple's stupid writing. That is the only reason why Glenn died the way he did in the show. Glenn should have survived on a lot longer. He should have made it to not only a new beginning, which, like I said, it was deserved for his character, but Glenn also should have, in my opinion, maybe even made it to the Commonwealth and stuff, because I definitely think it would have been cool to see Glenn make it to his 30s and become a father, something we never got in the comics. And maybe Maggie dies instead. Maybe Maggie dies at some point and Glenn has to raise a son without Maggie. You know what I mean? It's one of those things with his character I think would have been very cool to see. Who knows? There's just a lot of potential, a lot of story that could have happened there. And Glenn also, he was just an everyman kind of character. I mean, in The Walking Dead, literally guys in their 20s, they're around the same age as Glenn. Most of those guys are watching The Walking Dead. That was most of the audience. So whenever people watch The Walking Dead, they always were guys like Glenn, who had simple jobs before the apocalypse. And, some of them had girlfriends, some didn't. And, that's kind of Glenn. Glenn was a selfless character. And also, Glenn should not have died. I mean, the whole dumpster thing. Why would you kill him off in the dumpster scene just for less than a season later to bring him back alive and then kill him there? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's terrible writing. It was so stupid. They never should have done it. Glenn should have survived a lot longer, in my opinion. Maybe even survived the entire show. And for number 1, we have Carl Grimes. I mean, guys, come on. Like, it's Carl. You guys knew this was happening. You knew it was coming. Obviously, Carl is rated higher than Glenn. Why? Why is he rated higher than everyone else here? It's because not only, like, you guys think that Glenn's death destroyed the franchise? Oh my goodness, Carl's definitely destroyed the franchise because, dude, like, think about this for a second. He is Rick's son. Imagine if, like, Dragon Ball Z killed off Gohan or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work. You don't kill off the main character's child in a story. You don't do that. And some people might say, oh, well, you know, Walking Dead, it's, you know, Carl or Chandler Riggs was not a great actor, or this and that. It doesn't matter, okay? Carl was literally the future of The Walking Dead. Like, he literally was going to take over eventually after Andrew Lincoln left, after Rick died, okay? Because literally a few years later, Robert Kirkman eventually kills off Rick in the comics, and he keeps Carl alive. Like, seriously, anybody could have told Gimple this. If Gimple had an ounce of a brain, he would have read the comics and been like, you know, maybe I shouldn't kill off Carl. You know, I kind of feel like he's going to be super important, you know, because I'm not going to have Rick forever. So, yeah. Like I said, okay, Carl was not perfect in the show. He wasn't even the best character, you know, from the franchise, from the show. But Carl was the future. Out of all the characters on this list that I have, all the honorable mentions, he had the most potential because you could have just recasted him. Carl Grimes' character is a gold mine, okay? He had 12 years before the apocalypse happened. He got to know what the world was like before, but he also got to adjust and adapt to the apocalypse. He got to learn from his father. He got to make friends with people from the group, but also lose them. He became a big brother to Judith. There is just so much potential. And look what happened in the comics. Carl literally becomes basically a Rick 2.0 in the comics with just an eye. Carl becomes a man who's so selfless, he's willing to go to prison, to jail, just because he killed a bunch of zombies, because he believed in protecting his child and other children so that they never experienced the horror of the apocalypse ever again. Okay, Carl has been parodied and spoofed a lot of times, but for goodness sakes, even Robot Chicken from Adult Swim, even they knew that Carl was the legacy of The Walking Dead, that you shouldn't kill him off because he was going to be a big character, okay? And yet AMC did not know this. They allowed Robot Chicken to make this, okay? And it's just so ridiculous. Like, why would you kill off Carl? Because he's the future of The Walking Dead. Yeah, Rick is the face, and Glenn was the heart of The Walking Dead, and Daryl was something in The Walking Dead. But my goodness, Carl was the future, okay? As in, no matter what happens, we shouldn't kill him off because there's no going back from it. Just Scott Gimple. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. That's going to be it for my list of the top 10 Walking Dead characters that never should have died in the Walking Dead TV universe. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments, and let me know what your guys' list, like, who do you think I should have rated higher? Who do you think I should have added? Because, like I said, this was a lot of characters. I mean, yeah, so many characters AMC screwed up and killed in The Walking Dead when they should have never been killed off, or they should have died at a later time. And yeah, you know, like I said, some people might say, oh, well, the actors wanted to leave, or this and that. But I disagree with that. We don't know 100% what happened. You know, actors like Steven Yeun, they might have stayed longer if, you know, they were given more to do as a character, a different story arc. John Dory, you know, we don't know if he could have stayed longer. You know, and then the same thing with Frank Delane. He probably wouldn't have left if, you know, Ian and Andy were horrible writers. And, you know, obviously Enid wouldn't have died if Carl didn't die. So yeah, there's just a lot of things there. And yeah, guys, like I said, that's going to be it for my list. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you guys like these top 10 videos that I'm doing. And yeah, guys, I hope you all take care and have a blessed day. And see you all next time. Bye.